Hi everyone, this is Chris. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to show you another project that I have with Inlovearts. They sent me all kinds of goodies. They're all dies. I've chosen them all, so they're all free. I just want to be totally honest with you, and I'm going to do a little presentation of all this and show you what they look like in real life. And in future videos, I will go much deeper into some of them because some of them need to be a bit more explanations. Okay, so one of the first I'm going to show you is this big one. So this is a cake die. It's supposed to make a little box like this, and then you will do many other boxes to make a big cake. I think this is nice as a die. This one is big. It fits perfectly into a normal, regular Big Shot cutting machine. It just fits right. It shouldn't be one more centimeter bigger because otherwise it would be too big, but it fits into a Big Shot. I only have a Big Shot, so I can't tell you about other cutting machines, and they cut perfectly. So I've made one here. This is what it looks like. I think this paper is beautiful. If you tend to put something inside, of course, use some thicker paper, heavier paper, otherwise it's going to be too flimsy. And there's a good amount of space in here to put some goodies too. I'm going to make a cake out of it. I'm going to make several. I need to find enough paper and to make the first layer of cake, if you know what I mean, because you can stack them up, of course. And I think it's great for baby showers, for birthdays, maybe for a marriage, and you put some candies inside here and then offer it to your guests. And you know, if you have to make a whole bunch of these, of course you could do this. You have some templates to cut them by your hand with your scissors. But if you have a whole bunch to do, I think it's always better to have a die that is going to do all the job for you. You just need to fold it and glue it down, and it's going to be so simple. You know, there's sometimes in life where you need to be quick and you can't really cut everything by your own. So this is a good size. When the box is closed, it's in inches, about almost 2 inches. It's 1 3/4 inches. And on this side, it's 3.5 inches. And here it's a bit smaller. It's 1.5 inches from this part. So it's quite big. You can see it in my hand. It's a good size to put some goodies. If you don't want to put candies, of course, you could just embellish it and put maybe a bracelet, a ring, something you want to offer to somebody maybe you've done yourself. So that's the first one, and it really cut like wonders. It cuts like wonders. All of them, I didn't have any issues either by cutting into thin paper or thick paper. It really works well. Even into, I've cut one. I've cut this one. I will show you at the end, but I have cut in this one into really thick paper because it's watercolor paper. Watercolor paper, yes, it was that. It was 300 grams, so it's a really thick one, and it cut like wonders. What else did I buy? Oh yes, this one. For years, I wondered if I was going to buy some big numbers like this, saying, well, what am I going to do with it? And this time I saw these, I thought the numbers were looking great. I'm going to show you more like here in details what they really look like. They're a very good size, and I thought, hey, that would be great not only for birthdays, of course, but also for a new year, for New Year's card saying Happy New Year and putting 2021 on it. Look at these numbers. They really are neat. They're a good size. In inches, they're about 1.5 inches, which is in centimeters, a little over 3.5 centimeters, a little like almost 4 centimeters. And they look absolutely wonderful. So I have taken these also because I never had big numbers, and I think this is something you might want to invest in because you're going to use them quite often, and you can of course display them the way they are. Okay, so that's a good one. As you can see here, I've got a Happy Halloween, and this is from this die. It's a bundle. It comes in a pack of 3 little other dies. So you've got the house, which I have here. It comes with the house. It comes also with a little bat here that I've glued on, but the bat is separate, and you've got the Happy Halloween here. So as you can see, and I was quite surprised, all the letters are separated, okay, except maybe the E and the N here. Otherwise, all the other letters are separated. So it's maybe, you know, sometimes like a pin in the back, to be honest, to put all the letters back together. But at the same time, it gives you the opportunity to write Happy Halloween in another way. Like, for example, long-wise, you know, the hot dog size up and down. You can also put Halloween on a more curvy line. So yes, it's more intricate to use, but you have more things to work on as well. And you know, I just wanted to be fair with you. I don't like when letters are separated, but it can be useful sometimes. So that's the house, and I will do another tutorial maybe on a Halloween card. I'm trying to think about something that would be interesting, and of course using other colors than this one. But it comes with also, like I said, the house, the words in one die, and this. And it is a really nice size. Let me tell you this. In inches, it's 4.5 inches. In centimeters, it's like 11.5 centimeters. So it's quite big. All right, I'm going to put this aside. I have so many. What else? Oh, yes, I have this little thing. It's really not the one of a kind dies that you really want to have. This is not something you want to have in your stash, absolutely. I just was kind of interested, and yeah, I'm just interested in what it would look like. So this is like a display, a tiny mini display that you would want to use if you were doing some craft fairs. Maybe that would be maybe interesting for you. It comes in the set of 2. You cut one of each, and I will show you in a future video how you put these together, because it was a little tricky and there is no notice. They don't explain how to do it. So as an example, you see the measurements here compared to my hand. It's really small. The base here is like a centimeter, 1.5 inches, and on that side it's about 2 inches, and it's about 2 inches high. But here you have a little pendant, and it's nice. You could put some pendants as a presentation, put the tag price on the top. And let me come in. I think I need to zoom in a little bit. I tend to zoom too much usually. And that could be nice, for example. I think if you're making some bigger pendants, that would be even better. To do your presentation, you can put some more at the bottom here. You've got 3 like staircases where you could put your stuff in. And it's not bad. I mean, of course, use stiff paper to do this. You know, heavy cardstock, otherwise it's going to be too flimsy. You won't be able to put anything on top, even though it's not made for putting something heavy on it. But I think it can really look nice. So I will try to find maybe other papers and something more interesting to put in. But for craft fairs, I thought it would look nice. And I just wanted to give it a try. You know, sometimes people wonder, do I need to buy it? What is it going to really look like? So it's just to give you an opportunity to see what it is, how big it is before buying. Alright, so the other thing I have bought, and they come in a set of 2, are these 2 edge trimmers. So they're not going to do the exact same thing. One of them is going to cut like this, so you can see it leaves you a little border, but it's going to cut into your card. Nothing is going to be detached. And I want to say something. This is quite a long card. These are quite small. Just to give you an idea, I want to give you the measurements. In inches, they're like 4 3/4, a little bit over 4 3/4, which in centimeters makes a bit over 12 centimeters, which means that they won't go all the way through an A2 size card. A2 size card is 5.5. It's a little bit smaller than mine, but it would go here. So it's not cutting all the way through. You need to trim your card unless I find a way to make that go like this, to make it a little longer, which is not easy, because if I keep my card closed, I can't cut it because I have this other bit here. And if I put it this way, it's too big to go into my big shot. Maybe it would fit a big shot plus, but it would not fit a regular big shot. So I'm trying to find a way where I could still put this here, finish it up, so it's going to be all the length of my card. Because I think it's a bit annoying when it doesn't go all the way through. You need to trim up your card. I think they should think about that, because it's not the first time, not only with Inlovearts, I mean in other brands, they are usually quite small. So I'm going to think about a way to make it longer, or to still fit into the big shot. But except that, I think they look really pretty. I'm probably going to put some white in the background so you can see that. Yeah, that's much better than my hand. See that? I think it looks absolutely great. You could put another color behind here. I love this paper too because it's silvery. It's really nice. See that? And the other one is not going to do the same thing. It's going to cut into your paper actually and do this. That's this one. Okay, so this one cuts, which is not bad. I will show you in the future again how you could use this. You can use this to decorate a card or any kind of project, but you could also probably put it down here on one side of your card, let's say here. Trim it down probably and put it on the side to make something nice. Again, I will try, but this is easier to make it much longer. Put it down here, for example. On that side, it's big enough, but it's just on the length side, the long side that it's too short. But I just wanted to show you this because I don't have many of these. I think they're the first one actually I have. The other ones I have dies, border dies, are more like wavy style. I didn't have any flowers, so I wanted to give it a try. The two and last pieces I want to show you are these. And of course, I already did a project and I will do this later with you. And this is the card. So I think it's a bit too tone on tone because you might not see much. This is a shaker card, but they're so small and so pinkish like the rest of it that you can't really do it. And I did do a mistake on this card. I have to admit I did it. So when I will do this tutorial with you in another video, I will show you not what to do in order to avoid my my boogie. Okay, so in here I have used this die. It's like a beehive thing, kind of drawing, cutting. The hello is not part of it, it's just me putting it on. And I've also used these flowers. I'm sure that many of you know already this kind of die. I think I had some, but I couldn't find them, so I wanted to get more. So they come in a set of 3. You can, of course, separate them. Oh, it's like the numbers. You can, of course, separate the numbers. I just didn't do it. I just cut in one piece. I think it's better, it's easier, it's quicker. But you can separate the numbers, of course. And so they come in 3 different sizes. That's the smallest, the medium size, and the bigger one. And look how nice they are. Even the card, I think it's not too bad. In real life, it looks a little better. I have put some blings here and there in some areas and little hearts as shaker cards. And this shaker card is done a little bit different than the one I have done previously. I think I've done one for Christmas. It's a little bit different. I'm not going to use any double-sided foam for this one because it's really, the edges are way too small. Okay, I'm just going to show you right now how you're going to use the flowers. So, you could do this by hand. You could cut this by hand. I have tried in the past and I didn't succeed, honestly. It was not looking so great. So I thought that having some dies would be great. I also have, you need to know that I have a what is it called? A Cricut machine that would cut this in bigger sizes as well, but having a die is sometimes quicker than pulling out my Cricut machine, turning on the computer, resizing everything. Having dies is great. It's not because you have a Cricut or a scan and cut thing that you don't have dies, because it's convenient, it's ready to go. So I've already cut mine. I want you to see the intricacy of the design here. It makes really nice petals. I've done this into heavy cardstock. This one was, the first one I did was very flimsy paper. Be careful if you do that into copy paper, because you can see here, you don't have a lot of space. Your paper is barely having a little bit of paper here to stand together. So be careful not to tear it apart, otherwise you're going to tear your flower. Then you're going to take any kind of tool. I'm going to do this on the big one here. It's going to be easier for the camera and for myself. So that's the back of it. That's the white part. You're going to roll this part, start here, and roll this part on itself. Okay, here this is a special tool where you can put your paper into. You don't have to have this kind of tool to do this. It's just maybe a bit more convenient. Otherwise, you can use a dowel. You can't use the back of a paintbrush. Anything will do. I'm just going to roll, roll, roll. And I'm rolling quite tight, actually. when you start doing tight, and you can always, and that's what I'm going to do, untie it, let it go afterwards. But I start tight. And that piece is going to be where you're going to put the glue on. Okay? So once you're done, I like to let it unroll. It's going to make it even bigger. You know, the more tight you're going to make it, the smaller it's going to be. Then what I like to do, because my center here is a bit too opened, is just grab a little tweezer here, and I'm just going to kind of tighten a little bit, close the center of my flower. I'm sorry, I have glue everywhere in my fingers, but I've been working all day on different videos, and I like it this way. And now, in order to go quicker, I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue, put some here, and then you're going to press everything down, including the center of your flower. This one is quite tight compared to this one I have done here. This is my biggest. This is my biggest. You can see how this one is tighter than this one. When everything has completely dried, what I would do, and I'm going to take another kind of tweezers, I'm going to open the petals because they're too stuck against each other. And like turning backwards a little bit, open them and give them a little shape, which make things a little nicer, a bit more realistic than just all the petals going upwards and being straight. You can find these tools on Amazon. Oops, you see that? I didn't put enough glue. I need to put a little bit more. This is what happens when you don't wait enough. So wait enough. I tend to be, impatient sometimes. And there you go. I think it's nicer looking this way, but of course you can do the way you want it. And then you can ink them up. That's what I've done here to give it even more dimension, because everything was white in the beginning. And I think it looks nice when there's a little bit of ink here and there. See that? See my tiny little, they're heart shapes in here? Oh, I like it. Even though it's very pinky, I'm sure there's going to be somebody I can offer it to and that will love it. Love it. And there you go. So I think this is very convenient because it's done in minutes. You can do that in front of your favorite TV show, or maybe listening to an audiobook. I'm more and more doing that because I don't always have time to read books, so audiobooks are great. So there you go. I hope that video was interesting for you, so you know where to buy things. Maybe you were interested into a product and didn't know if it was worth buying it for, or maybe see how you're supposed to use it. But I really think this is fun. The products are good. The quality is perfect. It cuts really well everything. Every kind of paper, from the most flimsy one to a very thick one, like I've used here in this example. Which one was it? In this example, that was heavy cardstock. So yeah, go for it. It's really good. So I will put all the links below. You will have one link for each set of die that I have used. So please give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave me your comments. I'm always happy to read about you. I'm a bit late in answering, but I am answering and trying to answer everybody. But I have so many comments on all my videos, and I have over 500 videos that it takes me a little while. But I read them all, so thank you very much for all your encouragements. I do love that. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you people, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, please share on social media as well. And I hope you're all doing well, and see you soon for other tutorials. Bye-bye.